The most terrifying thing you will ever discover is that you are not one person. You are two. And the reason you are anxious, stuck, or broke is because those two versions of you are currently in a death match for control of your mind. You think you are fighting the economy or your boss. You are lying to yourself. When you decide to change your life, a second voice speaks up. It convinces you to sleep in, to skip the workout, to sabotage your progress right before you break through. This internal civil war exhausts you. You are tired not because you worked hard, but because you spent 12 hours negotiating with terrorists inside your own head. This diagram shows Gay Hendricks' concept of the thermostat. You have a subconscious setting for how much wealth, happiness, and love you believe you deserve. Let's say your thermostat is set to 70 degrees. If your life starts going exceptionally well and the temperature hits 80 degrees, your internal alarm goes off. The ego perceives this unfamiliar success as a threat. To pull you back to safety, you subconsciously turn on the air conditioning. You pick a fight with your partner. You binge eat the moment you see abs in the mirror. You create a crisis to destroy the peace and bring the temperature back down to your familiar 70 degrees. You are secretly addicted to your own suffering. Why? Because suffering is safe. It is familiar. As long as you remain the victim of your own life, you don't have to be responsible for it. The psychiatrist Viktor Frankl realized that the ultimate human freedom is the ability to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. Freedom means there is no one left to blame. Frankl did not develop this theory in a comfortable university. He forged it while surviving the Nazi concentration camps. He watched men stripped of everything, yet still retain the final choice of how to respond to their horrific environment. But most people reject that freedom. If you admit that you are the architect of your own misery, you experience a specific type of existential dread. You have to face the painful reality that you wasted years of your life building a prison and locking yourself inside. Let that realization burn, because the fire of that truth cauterizes the wound of victimhood. As long as your problems exist out there in the world, you are powerless. The moment you accept that the problem is in your own mind, you become the absolute solution. To defeat the enemy, you have to map the battlefield of your own identity. Sigmund Freud gave us the map of the id, ego, and superego, but stripped of its polite academic language, this is a brutal, active war zone. First, you have the beast. This is your biology, the id. Millions of years old, it cares nothing for your legacy or your future. It operates strictly to conserve energy and pursue immediate dopamine. When you feel a magnetic pull to procrastinate, that is the beast hijacking your motor functions to protect its calorie reserves. Second is the judge, the superego. It weaponizes guilt and the expectations of society. It screams at you when you mess up and paralyzes you with perfectionism. It dictates that if you cannot execute flawlessly, you shouldn't try at all. This diagram illustrates the resulting dynamic. Trapped in the middle is the hostage, the conscious ego. You wake up every morning battered between a beast that wants to drug you with dopamine and a judge that wants to execute you for being lazy. You cannot reason with the beast because it speaks in pure physical sensation, and you cannot satisfy the judge because its demands are unreachable. The only way out of this trap is a psychological coup d'etat. You must stop negotiating, seize dictatorial control of your internal state, and crush the impulses. Steven Pressfield calls this opposing force resistance. It acts as a literal law of physics. If you want to eat a pizza, you feel zero resistance. But if you sit down to write a book or launch a business, you will feel a massive physical weight on your chest. The resistance increases proportionally to the importance of the task. David Goggins identifies a similar mechanism he calls the governor. Like a car engine, your brain limits how fast you can go to prevent injury. When you feel pain and think you cannot take another step, you are only at 40% of your potential. The urge to quit is a manufactured illusion. Carl Jung called the parts of you that you are ashamed of the shadow. Society demands that you hide this dark, repressed side. You are taught to be polite, to be a nice guy, but a man with no capacity for aggression is merely harmless, and harmless men lack the capacity to conquer themselves or the world. If you repress your drive for dominance, it leaks out as passive aggression and self-sabotage. But if you integrate that darkness and channel it through the discipline of your conscious mind, you achieve what psychologists call sublimation. You turn base, aggressive impulses into high-octane fuel. Stop using all your energy trying to be a harmless saint. The fight for your potential requires you to unleash the monster, chain him to a sled, and force him to pull you forward. You cannot win a violent internal war with a peaceful mind. There is a poison you drink every day that rots your drive. That poison is hope. You hope you will feel motivated tomorrow. You hope the market improves. Hope is a passive, treasonous state. It is the strategy of a beggar assuming an external savior will arrive to fix their life. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius didn't hope the Germanic tribes would retreat. He marched his legions north and waged war in the mud. He replaced hope with intent. I hope I wake up early leaves a gap for failure. I intend to wake up early commands the brain to execute. To operationalize this intent, you must build an anti-self. Write down the traits of your inner loser, the version of you that sleeps in, scrolls for hours, and seeks approval. Then engineer an alter ego that is the exact opposite. Kobe Bryant constructed the Black Mamba to destroy his own hesitation on the court. Psychologists call this enclothed cognition. What you wear and the environment you curate literally change how you think. When you put on your gym clothes, you are stepping into the costume of the anti-self. You act out the avatar until it becomes reality. Willpower operates like a battery. It eventually drains. Identity is perpetual. You stop telling yourself, I am trying to run, and start operating under the truth, I am a runner. The internal negotiation dies the moment the identity shifts. The ultimate referee in this fight is time. Time is not a neutral backdrop. It is a predator stalking you. The philosopher Seneca noted 2,000 years ago that every day you waste arguing with your own impulses is a day permanently deducted from your total. You are not spending time. You are spending your life. Weaponize your mortality. Imagine lying on your deathbed at 90 years old. Surrounding you are the ghosts of the ideas and the potential you never acted on. They stare at you with angry eyes, telling you that only you could have given them life, and now they must die with you forever. There are only two types of peace you will ever find: the rotting, sedated peace of surrendering to the beast and remaining comfortably numb, or the vibrant, hard-fought peace of slaughtering your demons and standing in the center of your mind as the undisputed king. If you conquer your own fear and need for validation, you become an unstoppable force in the world. But be warned, your self-mastery will remind others of their own slavery. They will try to pull you back down. You face a stark choice: remain mediocre and be loved by the slaves, or master the mirror and be feared by the free.